Bots and Books fans, this is Scorp1701, and welcome to part 6 of the McFarlane Toys DC Superpowers Batman Special! I am very happy that you have decided to tune in to our final part of this saga, and tonight we are going to be reviewing some of Batman's awesome vehicles McFarlane Toys has put out. We have Batman's air combat vehicle, the Batwing, and the awesome Batmobile. So let's jump in and take a look, and since we have two, we'll have to decide which one we want to do, by land or by air, and I think we will start off with the Batwing. And starting off with the Batwing, taking a look at its packaging, it is in a nice box. You have DC Superpowers, Batwing, Batman's air combat vehicle, 12+. You have the Batwing itself with the star borders and the yellow. You have McFarlane Toys down here. On the left side of the box, you have DC Superpowers, the Batwing, figures sold separately, just in case you think that there's going to be a figure in this. When you open it, you have Batwing, Batman's air combat vehicle, and McFarlane Toys. You get the same thing over here on this side. On the top of the box, you get the same DC Superpowers, Batwing, and McFarlane Toys, and the Batwing. And on the bottom, you get some credits for the box and a barcode. And finally, coming around to the back of the box, you have DC Superpowers, Batwing, Batman's air combat vehicle, canopy opens, capture claw, folding wings, all sorts of cool stuff that we'll take a look at in just a moment, and some more credits for the box. But that's it for the box. Let's go ahead and get this thing out and start flying. And here we have the Batwing out of the box, and it is beautiful. If we were to measure it from this wing over here to this wing, you got 11 inches. And if you were to measure it from the front of the vehicle here all the way to the back of the engine that protrudes here, you got 9 inches. So it's pretty big, and I like the width of it. And, you know, it's got to be wide because you got the wings in there. And taking a look, it's mostly all blue plastic. There is a lot of detail in the wings, though. So you got some line work here and line work over here and some line work coming up to the sides. I like that. You do have some gray guns sticking out the side of the cockpit here. The bat symbol. There's some more line work here in the front. And then you got the orange canopy, and you got little bat wings coming off the side. They are done in black, and it's very nice. Coming around to the back, you have a little exhaust vents here, and then you have the engine here. There is a hole, so if you had some blast effects, you might be able to plug that in. So that is cool. Coming around to the bottom of the vehicle, you see the wings separated, and then you have the main hole here, which is done in black, and that is neat. You do have a little bit of detail on the bottom, so that's cool. And then you have this gray trigger switch, and what that does is, if you look on the front of the Batplane, there is a claw, and when you suppress that switch, the claw will open and close. So that is really cool. We will try that out in just a minute when we find a figure to chase. And to get into this awesome vehicle, all you have to do is press the bat symbol right in the middle, and the canopy will pop open, and that's some good movement right there. Ooh, very forceful. And that is cool. So we can look inside the cockpit. It is a single occupant vehicle, and that's all right. That's how it was in the movie and probably in the show. I don't remember Superpowers and the Batman using it, but anyway, you got your seat here. It's got some nice detail, and then you got some panels on the right side and some panels on the left side. You got a steering wheel, which is in the shape of a bat. I don't know if you can fly a plane like with a steering wheel, but hey, he'll do it. And then you have some neat little details up on the dashboard, so that is really cool. I like the inside of this, and it's pretty roomy in there for a figure, I think. And the final thing that we could do with this Batplane is, they say it's a feature. I don't know. Maybe if you're taking sharp turns, the wings can fold up. So maybe you don't hit anything. Basically, I think they made it that way so it's easier to package in the box. And they just didn't want you to have to add the wings. But if you want to, you can pull both wings up like that. And that is pretty neat. So put that back down. Now, let's find somebody to go into this awesome flying machine. Now, when the Batwing first came out, the only Batman available to put in it was the Hush Batman. And it's a Batman. He fits in there, and it really doesn't matter to kids. They like to play, but, you know, and you drop the canopy. Well, let's see. You'd have to sit him back. He'd have to kind of be laying down because the ears get in the way. But then you close him in there, and there he is. He can like fly it around, and that's pretty neat. And yeah, he looks all right. But you know, I never wanted to pick up either of these, the Batman or the Batwing, and I didn't want to pick up the Batwing unless I had the classic Batman. And this is gonna look so cool. We'll get him in here. And yes, this was definitely made for this Batman. Well, I guess the blue doesn't really match him. It's kind of a purplish blue. I don't know if I want the blues to match, but anyway, we'll stick him in there, and boom, that's how I remember this being back in the day. If they did have a Batwing in the back of the day. If they did, I don't know. I never got it, but this looks really neat, and he can go in there, fly around. See if I can zoom out and get back a little bit, because you know, this is one of those things that you want to kind of play like that. And so to use the claw feature, we'll need to bring some bad guy out, and the only one I got really is the Batman Who Laughs. And so he'll get close to him and God, let me down. I wish I had a Joker or something, but anyway, you can like press that and he captures him and take you by the foot, or by the head. No, ow, ow, ow. But anyway, that is going to be some cool features for your Batwing, and it's fun. You know, you enjoy this, and kids will love to play with it. So yeah, I think it's an awesome little toy. All right, moving on. So that's the Batwing. It's nice, it's fun, it's cute, very simple, and has a big playability with the claw feature and the canopy popping open. And if you had some blast effects, you could put them here. And another thing I would have preferred and liked is if they had like a hole on the bottom here, and you could put it into a flight stand or something, so it would just be hanging out. So, but yeah, for what it is, I like it. It's very classic, and I'm very happy with it. All right, now that we've seen the air transport, let's check out our wheels. And here, Bots and Books fans, we have the Superpowers Batmobile, and this thing looks awesome. I love the design of it. I like the color. I haven't even got out of the box yet, and I already love it, so I think it's going to be great. But taking a look at the packaging, you have DC Superpowers, you have the Batmobile, Batman Action Vehicle, 12 Plus, the Batmobile, McFarlane Toys. On the top of the box, you have basically everything else except figures sold separately, because they want you to know that Batman does not come in this box. On the side of the box, you have the same pictures, and Batman doesn't come in the box. And on the other side of the box, you have the same picture. And on the bottom of the box, you have some credits for the box and a barcode. And finally, coming to the back of the box, you have some product shots and everything that this vehicle does. You DC Superpowers, Batmobile, hidden rocket boosters, seats with 2 figures, battering ram, more credits for the box, and it is just an amazing looking vehicle from the pictures. Let's get it out and see if it's really that cool. And here we have the Batmobile out of the box. And out of the box, it is approximately 12 inches long. And at the front, you have 6 inches from this side to this side, and it looks really cool. There is some assembly required. We do have these little bat wings that we have to put on it, and they will go in these slots right here. So we will see. All right, so if you look at the wing, it has a letter designation, like this is R right here. I don't know if you can see that on the bottom, but it says R. And then you can look inside the wing well, and you can see an R right here at the top. So this is the R side, right? R side. So that will go in there like such. And then this one will obviously go in hell like such. And that is really cool. I love this. So taking a look at the Batmobile, starting from the front, it's basically all blue plastic. You do have some white details for headlights, and you have some silver here for the bumper, and you have the bumper section that detaches here. We'll take a look at that in just a minute. You have the awesome black bat head on the hood, and you have the white eyes sticking out there. That is cool. I like that. Continuing with the Batwing motif, you have orange for the windshield. That is neat. Coming to the side, you have some nice plastic wheels with some silver bat rims. I like that. That's really cool, and they roll really good. Coming to the side, there is no doors, so I guess Batman would just jump in there like he did. And you got a bat symbol here. Now I think this would have been better served a little bigger and right here in the middle. It's kind of up there to the left for some reason, but that's okay. So moving on, we have the black bat wings that we had seen. Coming to the back, we have some nice stickers for brake lights and tail lights. I like that. A little bit of silver. And you got the black part for where the booster will jump up. And this will rise up, but we'll do that in just a minute. And then coming to the other side of the car, nothing different over here. Coming to the bottom, it is all black with some nice details molded in there. So that's cool. And taking a look at the cockpit, this is going to be a two-seater. We are going to go aerial, and we're going to zoom in so we could take a look at these seats. Those are really nice seats. They are just black and plastic molded ridges in there, and you have some control panels. To the left side, you have a console in the middle, which is really cool, and that a lot of details there. Coming over to the passenger side, there is another panel there, and that has some good stickers. Got some blues and some greens and some yellows and some knobs. I like that. And ultimately coming around to the front where you have the dashboard, there is a lot of cool details in those stickers on the passenger side and on the driver's side. You've got a speedometer look there. And you have the bat steering wheel, and that is static. It doesn't move, but it looks really nice. I like the inside look of this vehicle, so that is cool. All right, let's check out the functions. On the front, you have a battering ram that will extend out if you're trying to push somebody off the road or crash through an obstacle. All you have to do is push down on this black bat head, and boom, the battering ram will jump out, and that is really cool. Very nice, very quick, and I like it. Boom, there it goes again. All right, another feature for the Batmobile is coming around to the back. You have some booster rockets that will pop out of here, and all you have to do to get those out is to pull this section up, and boom, that will fold up, and in comes the rocket boosters, and they are in the shape of a bat, and you got 4 dual exhausts there, so that should get you the speed you need, and you can actually push this all the way up if you're so inclined, and that's what it looks like fully armored with the battering ram out and then the engines out. So that is really cool. I like it. So you got a little compartment in there, so you can hide some stuff if you want to. So put this back down, bring back down the back trunk piece, I guess you can call it, and that will secure the engines back in again. Easy to do, just pull these up, and then there you go. And I don't know if it's supposed to go all the way up like that. I mean, it fits, but it kind of may get in the way of your passenger and driver, so yeah, let's not do it. You could just put it like that. But it's your toy. Play with it however you wish. So that is really cool. So let's get this back folded down and put the front back in, and let's get some awesome figures for this vehicle. Now, the Batmobile will fit any of your DC superpowers, but unless you put Batman and Robin in there, you're wrong. No, I'm kidding. You can put whichever ones you have if you don't have a Batman and Robin. But for me, this is always going to be the only choice. Unless they give us a classic Robin, Dick Grayson, and then I will switch out Tim Drake here. But still, it looks pretty nice. And this thing rolls super good. Really very smooth, very slick. And yeah, you can't really beat that rolling. So, alright. So let's see if Batman can have some other partners and see what they look like. Yeah, checking out the two buds just driving around in the car. That's really neat. Yeah, okay, Superman can fly, but that doesn't necessarily mean he always has to, right? You know, I'm sure it takes a little bit of effort, and just riding around in a car may not be a bad time for him sometimes. Now, there's been many Batman stories written where Batman and Diana get together, so, you know, they may just be on their way to the drive-in or something, so that is really cool. I can see them in there together. And if you wanted, I'm sure this would work perfectly well. This is the Batman Nightwing kind of thing going on, and this is more of a modern take on the characters, so the Batmobile is kind of 80s, but still. He still has it somewhere in the garage. Maybe the others got trashed, so this is all he's got. And I think this is a cool little compliment. All right, moving on. And this is going to be the McFarlane's Toys DC Superpowers Batmobile, and I love it. I knew I would. I love the way it looks. The features of the battering ram is really neat and fun. I like the pop-up booster rockets. That is cool. I like the little bat heads hidden everywhere. Like you can see one right here, and this is just a fun little vehicle, and it's simple. And maybe it's just me, and this is the type of vehicles I grew up with, and that makes me love these things so much. And maybe modern kids hate these things because there's no lights, there's no electronics, but I think just the simple design and the way it looks is really what drew me to this. And if you get this, I think you'll like it. All right, moving on. And that's going to be the McFarlane Toys DC Superpowers Batwing and Batmobile. I think they did a real good job putting these back out. The Batwing was very fun. It's small, but it still had some cool gimmicks like the capture claw and the wings coming up. I don't think, again, that's a gimmick as much as it is just how to package it. I did like how the canopy opened. That's, again, not a gimmick, but it does feel like it will hold up over time. The Batmobile was just super cool. And unlike another Batmobile that McFarlane Toys has released, this one does get two people in it. And the battering ram was cool. The pop-up booster rockets in the back was cool. But basically, the design of the car, I think, was really neat. And very simple, yet very playable. It rolls like a champ. And like the Batwing, I think it's very durable. I think this can drive off my desk, and I'm not really in fear of breaking it. And even if I did, it wasn't that expensive. So if you're looking for these vehicles, the Batwing is usually going to be found in the stores right now. It's on clearance for most of the stores I've seen it at for under $20. I think a friend said he got his for $5. The Batmobile is brand new, hitting the shelves, and it will run you $30. So it's a little more expensive, but I think it's worth it to get two figures in there and look really cool. And that's going to conclude our trip to the Bat Garage or the Bat Cave, wherever you want to say he puts these things. Before we move on, I would like to take a moment and have some final thoughts about the entirety of our Batman special. we have come to the end of our 6-part series, and I thank you all for taking the time out of your days and watching me and my nonsense as we unboxed all these figures and vehicles. And I really appreciated McFarlane Toys giving us all of these super-powered Batman figures. Even though the only one I was actually looking forward to was classic Detective Batman, I'm still happy with the others. And believe it or not, there are still more Batman on the way, and I think we're getting a whirly bat. So we are on the verge of having a Batman special part 2, because like everyone knows about McFarlane, no matter where he goes, he's going to put out Batman figures. And I really don't mind that he puts out so many. And like I said, in day 1, people either love him or hate him for it. And I love him because Batman's my favorite character. I love all the renditions of Batman, mostly. And it's just cool. I just really love this line. And I started off thinking, well, I was only going to get the ones that reminded me of the classics in the 80s. But as you can see, yeah, that's gone out the window. I'm going to get all the ones that I really like. And these vehicles, very good playability. And another great thing about these toys are they're very simple and they're very small, and they don't cost you an arm and a leg. I mean, this entire display cost about $100, maybe. And that's a lot of toys for $100, even in today's world. So again, guys, thank you for watching the videos and sticking with me through the entire series. It was a pleasure to make, and I really enjoyed putting these out for you guys. And that's pretty much all I have to say about the special. So guys, have a good night, and until next time, keep playing.